Hytale had an hour-long Q&A session with tech lead Slikey in their Discord, and this is absolutely everything you need to know about Hytale from it. But before the video starts, I wanted to share a tweet from Simon that says creator codes will be a thing for Hytale, so if you want to support a small and up-and-coming creator, I would really appreciate it if you use the code MYNE when buying your copy of Hytale. Now, let's get on to the Q&A. Regarding mods, you will be able to download them from existing platforms like CurseForge or Modrinth. There are plans in the future for a full in-game mod browser. There are no command blocks like in Minecraft. Instead, we have visual scripting for coding. So say goodbye to those 30,000 command block setups to have a video call inside of Minecraft. As of right now, there are no plans for official VR support anytime soon. I'm sure through mods, someone will find a way to make this possible though. This is a very important point. Absolutely no executable code will come from downloads. You will only download assets and configurations. Visual scripting is fully sandboxed. This means that sus mod makers cannot plant Trojans or viruses inside of mods and make you download them. I mean, who else remembers having to reset their PC multiple times back in the day when trying to download Minecraft mods? I know I did. The Hytale team are working on a system where you'll be able to join a friend's single-player world. Simon has teased that he may want players to enter a portal to enter another world. You can host servers day one. There will also be support for Linux server hosting or any platform that supports Java 25. If you buy the standard edition of Hytale and want to upgrade to the Cursebreakers edition, for example, upgrading to the more expensive edition of the game will only cost the value difference. In this case, standard to Cursebreaker being $50. There is no hunger system in the vanilla game. Instead, this is replaced by stamina, but you can add one as a mod. Food will act as healing items as seen in the gameplay clip. The next one, and I thought this was surprising that he would bring it up in a Q&A, but apparently 85% of you are not subscribed, and Slikey said that if we don't bring that number down, Hytale won't release. There's a good chance you might think you are but aren't, so go check and help Hytale release sooner. There is no technical difference between adventure and exploration mode. It will simply be a more complete and fully fleshed out version of what exploration mode will offer at the start. The NPC interaction system allows for deep customization, but only some NPCs have living world behaviors actually implemented. Living world was described to us as NPCs living their own lives, separate to what we do in the world, i.e. a Quebec village building itself up and tending to their farms. They're gonna work on that over time. I thought this was interesting, but the world height cannot be increased, even by modders. They might change this in the future, but currently have no plans to do so. The lighting system is currently being upgraded for things like models or the way torches produce light. The goal is to be more reminiscent of the lighting we saw from the new engine lighting showcase, where it smooths out over blocks. You can mod yourself into a potato. Yeah, that's it. Servers will be able to control your avatar looks, either letting you use your own avatar looks or forcing you to look a certain way. Think of a server where everyone's forced to become a dragon and fly through the skies. Hytale server code will be shared source, but this will happen sometime after release. Both Linux and macOS support are intended for after release. World generation uses seeds, so you can share world gens easily. I can already see the seed hunting posts for iconic postcards and videos we've seen in the past. Tech debt is a problem and it might affect modding. On early access, mods might break. Long term, they plan on letting modders know in advance when features will stop working and try to keep backwards compatibility for as long as possible. There are no exact hardware requirements yet, but you won't need a $1,000 brand new PC. They are currently doing hardware tests, and I'm confident even your computer or laptop can run it. In an old FAQ blog post, they mentioned that an integrated graphics card laptop can run Hytale on medium settings with decent FPS. Multi-threading does have a positive impact on performance, but it's still lacking. Companies that want to run Hytale servers will only need to agree with Hytale's TOS or EULA. One modding part that might be somewhat lacking on release is deeply custom UIs. The interaction system is a data asset type that allows you to define every interaction. For example, how weapons behave in combat. This is also made to minimize lag. They are still thinking about how bounty systems will work. This is a system where they will pay creators for things like bug fixes or new features. The important thing is that they don't want to take contributions for free, so you will get paid if your mod makes it in the game. Server plugins will be able to do anything like connecting to databases, make web requests, and so on. There is a status effect system which you will be able to mod and change the values of. Servers are joined through IP addresses, just like in Minecraft, but they plan to add a server discovery system later on. Fun fact, we've actually seen an early iteration of the server discovery in the screenshot. You can play on uncapped FPS. There are no automation systems on release, so don't expect something like Minecraft Redstone, but they're gonna look into it later. Modders Developers should be able to get a system running fast enough though. The game should be extremely moddable, as in you can make a custom map with custom world gen and 0 Hytale assets. At this point, it becomes like Theseus's Hytale. At what point is it no longer Hytale if you're not using Hytale assets? They didn't make Hytale to compete with any other games. They just wanted to overcome the technical limitations of Minecraft to create what they wanted. Cosmetics will be tied to supporter packs on release, such as outfits found in the Cursebreaker key art. Later on, they will sell cosmetic packs for cheap, but most of them will be free. There's going to be absolutely no pay-to-win monetization. Ever. The official Hytale minigame server, which is set to release after early access, will not be tied to monetization. The 2018 trailer was made with machinima tools, and you'll be able to use them like they did. I really want to see one of you guys recreate the original Hytale trailer in modern day Hytale. You can add libraries, frameworks, or APIs freely to your server. You can create custom Hytale server software, but you'll need to keep the protocol compatible with the latest client version. The modding tools will be available on launch. The game supports reloading for most modded assets without needing to restart the game. They are working with third parties to create modding tutorials. The Blockbench plugin might be open source, but there's no confirmation on that yet. There's no exact numbers for players supported in a server, but it should be heavily dependent on CPU, server configuration, and each player's configurations. While modding is important for the game, adventure mode is the main priority. This is something that stuck out to me considering how much of the recent discussions have all been modding focused, but that's likely due to the fact that adventure mode is barely accessible, whereas modders will be able to start the day it launches. The transition to Gnosis GUI started recently, but they don't plan to give full access to all tools in the Gnosis GUI SDK. And if you're kind of like me, I don't really know what that means, but I'm sure a lot of you modders do. They will soon release an EULA with specifics on what will be tolerated or not in servers. For example, if servers are allowed to have pay to win. The hitbox system is customizable, but it's still lacking. Entities inside chunks unload when no players are loading those chunks. This is very useful to know for potential mob farms you might make. Servers run their main logic on one CPU core. Other tasks can run on a secondary cores. This is still in the works. There will be a best practices summary for artists. Currently, it's good to know that blocks use a 32x32 texture, and players and equipable items use 64x64 textures. Hytale will use a custom file format named Blocky Model. You'll be able to export OBJ files from Blockbench as Blocky Model files. You can edit the tint of certain blocks. All the game systems will be accessible without paywalls. The avatar, which is your player model, will be a human by default, but it can be changed with the asset tools, such as if you want to become a demon. They plan on releasing very frequent updates and patches at the start of early access. Hiring is frozen as of right now, as they can't handle hiring more employees without negatively impacting their workflow, but later on they will post job openings as needed. Hytale won't have Optifine like mods, but performance is extremely important to them. They have the Sodium mod developer in the team, which is famously one of the best performance optimization mods for Minecraft. And last but not least, if you want to stay up to date with all things Hytale news, make sure to subscribe to the channel and follow my Twitch, link in the description. I am going to go live almost every single day covering Hytale news, talking about Hytale, and just having a lot of fun. So I want to see you there.